45 would do anything to be reelected. His opponents are unlimited because they believe in democracy. 45 has no limits because he doesn't. Here's 45's reelection playbook in 25 simple steps. Number 1, declare yourself above the law. Number 2, use racist fear-mongering, demand law and order, and describe protesters as thugs, lowlifes and rioters and looters. Describe the COVID-19 as kung flu. Retweet posts from white supremacists, and your campaign ads use a symbol associated with the Nazis. Number 3, appoint an attorney general more loyal to you than to America, and politicize the Department of Justice so it's lenient on your loyalists and comes down hard on your enemies. Have it lighten the sentence of a crony, convicted of lying under oath and order investigations of industries that you hate. Number 4, fire U.S. attorneys who were investigating you for corrupt actions. Number 5, fire the independent inspectors generals who are looking into what you have done, and crush any whistleblowers that you find. Number 6, demean and ignore the intelligence community. Appoint a director of national intelligence more loyal to you than to America. Demand that the head of the FBI pledge loyalty only to you. Number 7, pack the federal courts with judges and justices who are more loyal to you than to the Constitution. Number 8, politicize the Department of Defense so generals will back whatever you order. Refer to them as my generals, have them help clear out protesters, order the military to surveil protesters, and tell governors will bring in the military to stop the protesters. Number 9, purge your party of anyone disloyal to you and turn it into a mindless, brainless, inbreeding, trailer park living cult. Number 10, get rid of the accumulated experience and expertise in government. Demean career public servants. Hollow out the State Department, the Department of Justice, and the Department of Health and Human Services. Number 11, reward donors and cronies with bailouts, tax breaks, subsidies, government contracts, regulatory rollbacks, and plum jobs. Put their lobbyists in charge of your agencies. Distribute $500 billion in pandemic assistance to corporations in secret without any oversight. Number 12, coddle dictators. Don't criticize their human rights abuses. Refuse to work with the leaders of other democracies, and withdraw from internal treaties. Number 13, create scapegoats. Demonize immigrants and lock up asylum seekers at the border, even if they are children. Put a white nationalist in charge of the immigration policy and blame it all on the Muslims, Mexicans, and Chinese. Number 14, denigrate and ridicule all critics. Describe opponents as human scum. Attack the mainstream media as purveyors of fake news and enemies of the people. Number 15, conjure up conspiracies against yourself supposedly led by your predecessor and opponent in the last election without any evidence. Accuse the former president Barack Obama of treason and fabricate a deep state out to get you. Number 16, downplay real threats to the nation, such as the rapidly spreading pandemic. Lie about your utter failure to contain it. Muzzle public health experts, and urge people to go back to work even as the pandemic worsens in parts of the country. Number 17, encourage armed supporters to liberate states from elected officials who disagree with everything you do. 18, bribe other nations to investigate your electoral opponent and flood social media with lies about him. Number 19, use right-wing propaganda machines like faux news and conspiracy theory peddling One America News to inundate the country with your lies. Ensure that the morally bankrupt chief executive of Facebook allows you to spread your lies and the biggest media machine in the world. Number 20, suppress the voters of people likely to vote against you. Encourage Republican governors to purge voter rolls and demand voter ID in close polling places. 21, seek to prevent mail-in ballots during the pandemic. Claim that they will cause voter fraud without evidence and threaten to close the U.S. Postal Service. Number 22, get Vladimir Putin to hack into the U.S. election machines, as he did in 2016. But can he now do with more experience and deftness? Promise him that in return you'll further destabilize America as well as NATO. Allow him to put a bounty on killing U.S. troops in Afghanistan. Number 23, if it still looks like you'll be voted out, try to postpone the election any way you can. 24, if you're voted out of office notwithstanding all this, refuse to leave. Contest the election, claim massive voter fraud, say it's a conspiracy, get your inbreeding cult of trailer park supporters of the political party to support your lies. Get your propaganda machine to repeat them. Get your Justice Department to back you. Get your judges and justices to affirm you. Get your generals to suppress any subsequent rebellion. Number 25, declare victory. And this is a memo to America. Beware of 45's playbook. Spread the truth. Spread the truth about his inbreeding, and stay vigilant and fight for our democracy. And this is from Robert Rake. And yep.